All right. What's going on, everybody? Thank you all for tuning in. I am your one and only host, Cool Gent 87. Before we all get started, could you all go ahead and like and share the stream? And if you're new to this channel, be able to subscribe. It is very much appreciated. Once again, thank you all very much. I have a topic today that I want to talk about, as you all see on the title. And I also have some wonderful, close people that are like family to me. And I appreciate both of them coming on here with me. Shout out to Lady Mocha and Ft.J.T from the Underrated Darkness. How y'all doing?
I'm trying to see if my sound's working. Can y'all copy me?
Yeah, I hear you loud and clear. Can you hear J.T?
Yeah, I'm here.
Awesome. How you doing? Doing well, man. Doing well, though, man. It's good to see both of you all on here. I finally did a live stream for once in my life again. So, yeah, as you all see the topic, though, man, the relationships is not just going to be about just for, couples or anything, but it's also about us as a people as well. How we can find a way to reconnect with each other, from young to old, and being able to build those relationships instead of having them being broken throughout, the generations for everything to come. So, and shout out to everybody that's in the chat room too, man. Let's see what we got before we get started. All right. Shout out to Tone Malone. What's going on, bro? It's good to see you, though. Good to see you.
Tone Malone in the building.
Yeah, Felicia Johnson. Welcome, though. So, I appreciate y'all once again. So, this topic right here, what is y'all take on with today's relationships in this for this year in this generation? Like, how do you all see it? It don't only have to be about just the relationships with couples, but just with people in general.
When you who's that? I forgot what the number one grinder is. That Underrated Darkness.
Yeah. Yes.
Oh, okay. I just wanted to make sure. I see you got a different name. Big ups to you, Darkness. I just wanted to holler at you because I didn't speak to you when we first got on. I just, when you talk about relationships, are you talking about as far as like dating and people like connecting, trying to build something, or is that the relationships in scope? Is that the area where you're going at?
Yeah, that's the area. That's the area as well too. Yeah, most definitely.
Oh my gosh. I really honestly, I think YouTube is making it worse. Especially the black sector. If you're not already in a relationship by now and you've already fallen into the sunken place with these black YouTubers, these supposedly dating experts, these YouTube prophets, these YouTube pastors, not pastors, but pastors. You have all of these individuals who are polluting and giving false information about what is considered as a real black man or a valuable black man or a valuable black woman. It's a lot of these false prophets, these dating coaches who really don't have receipts to produce, that they specialize in giving advice in dating. They have no solid certification to prove that they know what it takes to build a relationship. They have no receipts as far as what it takes to keep a relationship, because a lot of them that are giving advice, either they don't have a relationship themselves or they have been in multiple relationships. So the biggest thing is the dating is the reason why a lot of black men and black women are pretty much losing in the dating, is because we're allowing people who don't have to really produce real receipts. We're allowing them to guide us and give us what they perceive as what is marriage material, whether if it's a black man or a black woman, we're allowing these individuals to program what is considered a person that's of value. And I think that's one of the biggest things that's hindering a lot of black men and black women in the dating world, is because we're allowing people to structure what they perceive as dating.
Yeah, that's very well said. Did you want to add on to this, JT?
I think that what it is that, like I said, let me hit this. I feel that instead of we listen to each other, we talking at each other.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel that we let our abundance to get in the way instead of the mission that us as a people to to um to really to strengthen our relationship, especially with God first.
Absolutely.
And after that, the black man and black woman understand that there is elements out here that always want us to destroy us. Now I'm saying as a black man out here, I have the right to say no to toxic people. No matter you're a black man, no matter you're a black woman or anybody, but we're gonna stick to our people. I do have the right because I did not live on this earth for 55 years for nothing. My existence does count. But there are some people that they let their abundance to get in the way of their existence, and their priorities is not straight. And when you I'll be right back. Let me take this call. I'll be right back.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, bro.
Yeah.
So you both are right on with that. And I was thinking about how in relationships and things like that, we have like a generation now that feel it's just mostly rebellion, with each other. Feel like, we don't have to bring nothing to the table.
Mm-hmm.
We have so much of this high value thing though, and I'm not afraid to say, heavy scandals, what I'm saying, which he's already been caught up about, the stuff that he's doing, and people like him are leading other men and women astray and stuff. He's not helped really building them up, so it's always tearing them down, and we wonder why a lot of us our own are really broken in today's generation, and why we're not really pushing forward to be the best that we can be. Because you got people like that, the dating coaches and stuff, man, who think they got the answer to everything, which they don't. And none of them never had families, what I'm saying? No long-term relationships. Everything with them is really short-term relationships if you look at it like that, because they only go so far. Are you in it to see what their mindset is? Like, what's your purpose for dating or should I say courtship? You know what I'm saying? Are you a person that's marriage mindable to see where that person's mind is, to get on the build together,
And it's you said the key word while you were speaking. I was listening to you as you speak. The word that you said that stood out like a sore thumb was broken.
Mm-hmm.
The problem that a lot of black women are overlooking, we have become accustomed to making people feel as if they are certified and qualified and giving knowledge because they consider it red pill, pink pill, blue pill, black pill. But what I've come to discover is none of those pills are existing anymore too much. You have some of it that's still left. But what I'm starting to hear more of, Cool Gent, is bitter pill.
Oh.
I did a segment called bitter pill knowledge because it's becoming cancerous to black men and black women, especially in the black YouTube sector, because we are the ones that are promoting bitter pill. And what I mean by promoting it, we're the ones that are tithing into these dating experts like they are ministers, like they are pastors. It's gotten to the point to where we're transitioning into a cult.
Uh-huh.
To the point to where when you listen to these bitter pill pastors or these bitter pill content creators, and let me first of all, let me give y'all the definition of what is bitter pill, because I know a lot of people aren't clear on that. A lot of people, when they hear the word bitter, they automatically want to associate that when it comes to a woman, as if bitter is only a disease a woman can catch. But bitterness does not discriminate. You don't have to be a black woman. You don't have to be a poor person to be bitter. You can be successful and be bitter. You can you can have a lot of accomplishments and be bitter. You can be rich and bitter. You know, you can be well dressed and bitter. So we have to keep in mind there's the stereotype that being bitter is a feminist issue, when being bitter is really a broken person's issue. It doesn't matter if that person is a female or a male. Brokenness does not discriminate. And just because people, and let me tell you something, a lot of people don't look like what they've gone through. Just because I'm well dressed and I know how to speak articulately, I know how to speak intellectually, it does not mean that I'm not bitter. Just because I have degrees, just because I brag about my single life, or I brag about I'm not married, or I brag about I don't have any children, all of these defense mechanisms to make myself feel more superior than others, to convince people that I got my shit together, that I got it all figured out. Look at my success. Look at my clout. Look at my admiration. Look how many people I got checking for me. When really it's a defense mechanism. And what's going on is black men and black women. And I'm saying, I'm speaking in terms of both are guilty of doing this, because we're not going to highlight that is more so black women or is more so black men. This is a problem that broken black men and broken black women. This is an issue for broken individuals. So we're not going to pick sides as to who is more broken, because I am just so fed up with the black YouTube sector, these bitter pill content creators that only want to highlight the issues of the opposite sex. When the truth of the matter is, we all got issues. We all have had some type of dysfunction, whether it's been in your childhood, whether it's been in your first marriage. We all have things that we have had to endure that have shaped us. All of us have experienced some type of level of pain and damage that has shaped our well-being, that has shaped how we perceive life. And that is what I mean by bitter pill content creators. Basically, you're giving content from a bitter perspective. You're giving content based on things that you have gone through, based on things that you have experienced. So for instance, if I have had a lot of negative experiences with black men, let's say the majority of my relationships with black men have not been good. Not so much because of them, but because of the fact that I lacked discretion and discernment and picking and choosing the right type of black man. Because I've chosen the wrong type of black men, it's easy for me to group all black men as a whole and say that black men aren't good for me. Black men are dysfunctional. It's basically, I've taken my own personal negative experiences and I have allowed it to mold me mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually as to how I perceive the world. Because as I stated before, and I said this in one of my other contests, that safe makes us feel hate, like hate makes us feel safe.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of black men and black women, we are so comfortable in our hate. And women, we walk around with hate. We tote hate like it's a new Coach bag. We carry hate like it's a new Louis Vuitton bag. We walk in hate like they red bottom shoes. You got men doing the same thing. They're holding hate like it's a black card to their bank account. It's black men and black women, again, this bitter community, because we're not going to do that here. We're not going to highlight black women are the problem. We're not doing that. And we're not going to highlight that black men are the problem. We're doing away with that. Okay, I'm gonna leave that for the bitter pill content creators. I'm allow them to take turns attacking each other. I'm gonna let them do that. I'm gonna let these bitter pill sisterhood sisters drag black men, and I'm gonna let the bitterhood brother community drag black women. They're doing a fine job of that on their own. So I'm not about to contribute and add to the poison that they're spitting to contaminate me and how I perceive myself as a black woman, or how I perceive myself as a black woman being with a black man. And what it is this bitter pill content creators, they are sharing knowledge from a bitter, broken place. Someone has hurt them. Someone has hurt them. Someone has disappointed them. Someone has let them down. And you know what's going on, Cool Gent, is that it's come to a point, and I don't take it personal. I realize why so many black men are caping for black men that speak negatively of black women. I don't take it personal that it's so many black women that are caping hard for other black women that talk negatively about black men. Because if you really think about it, misery likes company. I don't want to hate. It makes you feel more safe when you don't hate alone, if that makes any sense, Cool Gent. It makes you more safe if you have other people you can recruit that also share the same negative ideologies as you, that also share the same bitterness as you. Because if you think about it, it's kind of like that slave plantation mentality. It's kind of like this. It's kind of like back during the slavery, right? When you had Negroes picking cotton in the field, and you had the other Negroes who actually worked in the master's house, where they wasn't out in the heat and picking cotton like the other slaves. But ironically, both slaves hated each other. And the slaves in the field felt like the ones in the house felt more superior than them because they wasn't out in the heat picking the cotton. You know, they was indoors where they didn't have to deal with the heat. They was cooking for the master. They was breastfeeding the master's babies. And you had both slaves who felt, especially the ones in the house, the ones in the field felt like the ones in the house had more seniority, had more superiority, when really, truth be told, they still were slaves. It didn't matter who was picking the cotton. It didn't matter who was in the house with the cold air, with the plant, with the slave master. The slave who was in the house didn't get no more special privileges than the slave that was actually picking cotton. Now, if you think about it, that same analogy applies to black men and black women. We both like to dog each other, but we fighting the same war, baby.
Exactly.
We fighting the same war. It don't matter, Cool Gent. I can sit up here and bash you, disrespect you, talk trash to you about how black men ain't shit. I can degrade your masculinity. You can do the same thing. You can degrade my feminism. You can say black women ain't shit, but guess what? It does not take away from the fact that we are still fighting the same war. I have to climb hurdles to get to America, allowing me to be great, just like you have to also fight those same hurdles. So I find it so ironic that black men and black women have so much energy to go toe to toe, to drag each other through the mud, when in actuality is basically you fighting your own soldiers. Because at the end of the day, we all got to fight. We all got to dodge these goddamn grenades out here. Cool. Right. You think for a second, if me and you both apply for the same position on the job and there's a white person in there, do you not know if it's three of us applying for the same job, you and me are in the same boat? When it comes to that other individual, they're not going to care if I'm a black woman or if you're a black man. So this is why I really would like to state that, you know, it's the bitter pill content creators that are poisoning the black community with their stereotypical content material that they are distributing, and they're putting out there, when the truth of the matter is, it's easy for me to spit positivism and tell you as a black man you ain't shit, because it helps me to conceal my inferiority as a woman and vice versa.
That's facts. That's facts all day what you said though, man. Mocha. Yeah, you dropped a lot of heat on that. Yeah, the division is real today. You know, like I said, we got all these materialistic things to make us seem like we better or something. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I'm high value stuff. You know, like that really had pissed me off. You know, you got to make over 100K, you know, as a man to prove that you're so-called high value stuff. That's not the case. What about my integrity? What about my character? What about my respect? You know what I'm saying? How I carry myself as an individual, how I treat my parents, myself especially, you know. Authority.
Not to mention, what about the millionaires that live corrupted lives, that's molesting children in foreign countries?
Exactly, though. You know what I'm saying? You saying just because I don't wear a suit and tie, that makes me less of a masculine man? Like, where does that come from? And you know something, Mocha? This had me thinking too. You know, I think about ancestors from way back in the day. You know what I'm saying? The women didn't ask their husbands or something like that. You got to be like make over 100K and stuff. You know what I'm saying? We never had no power in the system though. You know what I'm saying? Not like never. We never had no type of power in the system ever though. So like you said, we got these, you know, these gurus online and telling us, you know, man, you need to do this, you need to do this to women and stuff. And they ain't gonna do no but lead a lot of them straight to hell, have broken relationships and stuff with the women, and not only them but themselves. So it's like we're in one big mess right now. And it's hard to really see how things are going to really be going forward and on. So it's just everything's out of place right now. And it's just like, man, you know, why couldn't things be the way they could, like at least for the time? But because what worked back then should work today, but nobody takes that and apply it in their life. And they wonder why they have these broken relationships, because everybody is just short term now. Short term everything now. They want everything with a quick touch of a button. Microwave.
It's these microwave. That's what I was getting ready to say. Microwave relationships.
Yeah, microwave relationships though. Situationships. And it was a topic that I was going to talk about too. I'm about to do it on another show too. I'm spitting here. I was going to entitle it Men and Women in the Truth versus the dating coaches though. You know what I'm saying? How those two kind of stand out, like what side talks about what, you know, versus the other. So I mean, because a lot of brothers and sisters in the truth and sisters that's in the truth, like, know what's going on. We see the reality here, you know, versus the dating coaches, which they only pretty much doing is taking their money from broken people and abusing them. You know what I'm saying? And it's going to hold.
And it's funny you said that, you know, like when you said taking their money. Let me tell you another thing you ain't peeped. Another thing. Not only are these dating gurus not taking just their money, guess what else they taking? They taking a voice. Because how was it I got to pay you to come in and have an opinion? Do you see that is transitioning into cult mode? Well, what happened to being able to give an opinion freely? I have to pay you to come in your congregation, because let's just call it for what it is. We got cult leaders out here. These dating cult leaders, okay? Because that's what I call them. And I call them cult leaders because you have these cult members that will decapitate you if you have anything to say about their cult leaders. That's how ridiculous it is. You can't have an opinion about these cult leaders without somebody wanting to sodomize the hell out you for it. So it's gotten to the point. A lot of these people see they're not woke to what's going on, and what's happening is they're falling into they're transitioning into cult. Because if you think about it, remember the cult leader Jim Jones? Are you familiar with him? Okay, and he took everybody's voice where no one was allowed to lead but him. And it's dangerous when people take your voice, because think about it, Kujit. If I take your voice and you can't really say what you want to say, even if it means hurting my feelings, and going against my narrative, what tends to happen if I take your voice? What tends to happen is I start to program your mind.
Facts.
Because I'm already stripping you of being able to speak your mind. I'm stripping you of speaking from your heart. So what I start to notice is, see, y'all ain't people what's going on. I'm people what's going on. You find yourself having to agree to keep the peace.
Ooh.
I don't think y'all caught that.
You gotta say that again.
You find yourself, you got to agree to keep the peace. In other words, I know what this person is saying is not healthy. It's poisonous to my spirit, but because I want to avoid confrontation, or I want to avoid going against the grain, because think about it. If I have to charge you to come into my chat, 9 times out of 10, because you're paying me, you're not going to go against my narratives, because the last thing you want to do is pay me and I keep your money when you do go against my narratives. You get what I'm saying? So the moment you come into my congregation, because I'm this cult leader, the moment you come into my congregation and you even if you want to, even if you're thinking about wanting to go against what I'm saying, you're not going to, because you're already investing me with your money. Now, check this out, because it gets more interesting, y'all. I'm on a roll here. Not only these cult leaders, now they're already taking your money. And let me tell you why they're doing that. I know a lot of y'all looking at it like, what's to keep the trollers away? That's bullshit. Let me tell you what's really going on. It got nothing to do with trollers. It has everything to do with you want to make sure no one else can reprogram your cult members.
Ooh, snap! Wow,
it got nothing to do. Let's do away with the trolling, because I heard a lot of y'all not woke. That's what they want you to believe. If if I let you come in my congregation, Kujin, and you go against the narrative that I'm using to program the mind of my cult members, you're going to take my cult members from me. You're going to take my money away from me. You're going to take, I don't want anybody influencing something that I'm benefiting from. I don't want you coming in changing the mindset of individuals that I am programming. So avoid that. This is what they do. They take your money, because think about it. Anytime you put your money into something, you're going to comply. You're going to comply with the program. Now, if you're not investing or putting money, that gives you room to debunk debate, or go against the waves, because you're not losing anything. You get what I'm saying? But if I take your money, you're less likely to go against the narrative that I am preaching, because you know, at the end of the day, the moment you come into my chat room and you share a difference in opinion, I can block you and keep all the money that you've been tithing.
Oh yeah, there's been a whole lot that's going on with Mr. Scammers, though. I've seen it, and I'm like,
it's a lot of them. It's a lot of them.
And I'm like, why are y'all giving these people like him all y'all hard-earned money?
Opinions used to be free. When did we have to start paying for opinions?
Exactly. Taking all your money, never reads the super chats at all. But then, you know what I'm saying, when someone has an opinion, like you said, your own opinion has come from your heart.
But let me interject right quick. Kujit, I see somebody, other Ray J pastors do that too. Let me give you the difference between that. Okay, yeah, I agree. Pastors do that too, right? They make us tithe when we come in their church. But guess what? It's still a difference. You still got to be woke, because let me tell you what the difference is. The day you go to a church, peep this now. The day you go to a church, you know how when you go in the church and you get ready to enter the building, and you know how they have the ushers standing outside that pretty much guide you and tell you where to sit down and everything.
'em.
This is still a difference. Guess what? the ushers don't tell you as soon as you come to the door. Before you could come in and pay the word, before you could come in and hear the word, you got to pay me before I give you a seat. It's still not the same thing, no matter how you slice it. But with these content creators, you got to pay them up front just to even come in a chat room to chat, to say anything. Now, the day these churches start telling you, okay, before I can open the door to you and tell you where to sit, you got to pay me up front before you can come into my church. That's when it's on the same level. No, it's not, because with the church, you can decide if you want to pay or not. Right. You can decide if you want to tithe or not. And guess what? Let's say if the church does decide to give funky and say, I'm going to make my members pay. You got the right to leave that church, because guess what? You didn't put no money in it. Right. Either way, y'all still getting pimped. Y'all can't, there's nothing no one can say. There's not an analogy y'all can use to condone or to justify these dating cult leaders on YouTube. Because either way it go, they're not giving y'all a choice. With the church, I got a choice. I can leave that church. Guess what? As soon as I go to that church and that church tell me, they hand me a basket before I even go in and sit down. As soon as I walk to the door, hey, if you want to listen to the word, you got to put money in the basket. See, I got a choice. These dang coaches, they don't give y'all a choice. You got to click join and pay money. That's the only way you're going to get a seat. And that's the only way you're going to be able to get in these platforms. You have to pay them up front. At least with the churches, you got a choice. So that's the difference with that. It's still not the same thing.
The clubs and stuff, you have to pay, up front before you can go in. So some of the clubs. But I just always say use discernment, who you choose to listen to and stuff. If it speaks to your soul, with something good, then okay. Go ahead. But you have your own brain, you have your own mind, what the Most High gave you. So you all have to be careful with some of the gurus online, because a lot of them are leading a lot of y'all astray. They'll try to mix the truth in with the lie. That's why, and they flip flop their messages and stuff like that. So you're saying just because I don't have over 100K subscribers, you're saying that I can't be taken serious? You know what I'm saying? And a lot of those type of particular content creators on top upper ones, they look. I'm trusting. Believe me though, I talk about this with other brothers. Mm-hmm. They listen to some of us. They take some of our talking points and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Put in their videos and deceiving the people to make it seem like that they had came up with a particular topic or just like the talking points. And you know what I'm saying? Well, they got over 1,000, over 100,000 subscribers, so it must be true. So it's like that, and it's just sad, but they don't give credit where it's due. They don't give credit where it's due,
Well, truth always seems more valid from a person who has more popularity than sincerity. Right. And it's boiled down to popularity, and it has nothing to do with sincerity. You can be sincere in your truth. You can be real in your truth. You can be genuine in the content that you distribute. But it's always the popular people. They ain't saying nothing so magical that other people haven't already said it before. Right. But because the numbers, it's different. For example, Beyonce could do a Popeye's chicken commercial. And an average person like myself, who's not well known, nobody really knows me like that, I can do a Popeye's commercial. They can have me and Beyonce say the same line. Come down to Popeye's and get your chicken sandwich. Guess what? They're going to go more on what Beyonce has to say, not because of hers, not that her sincerity is more real than mine. Or more genuine, but it has everything to do with her popularity. And it's gotten to a point to now where people are so easily to be manipulated by numbers. We will go by the image versus the actual receipts that person has produced. If a person has numbers, for some strange reason, we look at that and we automatically feel like, okay, this person must be know what they're talking about. they have over 60,000 subscribers versus this person who has 60 subscribers, they're automatically going to gravitate towards the person who has 60,000 subscribers until that person gets exposed.
Yep.
Something comes out where now you see what this person been preaching all this time about one thing, and slowly but surely, because let me tell you something, it takes a lot to be on top. The bigger you become in the YouTube game, that's the bigger the radar on your back, because at this point in time, people are going to be trying everything possible to dig up all kind of dirt on you, because you have to realize, as your fans increase, so do your enemies, so do your competitors, so do your foes. So I always tell a lot of content creators, if you got, for instance, let's say if you got 10,000 subscribers, you know how many enemies you got on top of that, Cool Gent?
Way more.
Oh. It doubles. You got 30,000. I mean, it triples. You got 30,000 for every 1,000 supporters. Double that, triple that. Those are the enemies that come with it. So you have to realize in this game, everybody is not happy to see you win. It don't matter how many people come to your defense and be like, well, I don't know why y'all talking about so-and-so. Her word, her content is real. His content is real. This, and that, and the third, and the third, and the third. It still does not make them exempt from enemies trying to sabotage their platform and what they're trying to build.
Very true. What's that Biggie said? More money, more problems.
More money, more problems. That's why I say
more problems.
I'll keep my struggle platform.
I'm telling you,
as long as you're not a threat to nobody, ain't nobody really coming for you like that. You know what I'm saying? When you start getting think about it. I had a pastor of mine tell me, ain't nobody gonna rob a homeless man. If you ain't got shit, it's sad, but it's kind of like, the less you got, the more at peace you have. You feel me?
That's the truth.
So much is given, much is required. And that's why I'm really not hating on anybody who's big or doing great in their platforms or whatever, because y'all see the glamour, but I know the pitfalls that come behind it. Yeah, you getting all these cash apps. Yeah, you getting all these donations. Yeah, you getting all these accolades and praises and all this and that. But with all of that, so does the troubles. The troubles increase, because now you got to walk a fine line, because all it takes is to piss off the wrong person and they'll expose you. They'll find something up. You got to tread lightly, because it's already people waiting on your downfall. And the moment you slip, you're at the wrong place at the wrong time. Like instance, that has nothing to do with it, but like the rapper Young Buck. He was with G Unit.
I remember.
And he's catching a lot of heat right now, because people was already questioning his sexuality. It already was stuff coming out about Young Buck, which I think the guy's talented. I don't care if you gay, straight, whatever. You know what I mean? Do you love who you want to love? I got love for anybody, regardless of their sexual preference. But people had already been putting that out there, that he was. So what happened was, it took one. He made a mistake by hitting the thumb up, the like button, on some male porn site. Why the hell did he do that? Because somebody screenshotted it. That's all it took. People already had suspicions. And when he did that and it got put out there, this how you know it was true. Because when the screenshot was put out there where he was liking these videos, how about he tried to unlike them?
Wow.
And see, this is the reason why a lot of people don't want to live in a truth, is because it's the ridicule that come behind it. And you have to realize a lot of people don't live in a truth. So what they do is they attack other individuals. So it takes the focus off of them having to live in a truth. You know what I mean? Because it's sad, but the only way you're going to keep that status, you got to really be fraudulent. People don't appreciate the real anymore. You get what I'm saying? You got to be fugazi.
They don't. Fake is the new real in this wicked Babylonian system generation we live in right now. You know what I'm saying? It's like nobody's authentic. You can only find only little in between people that are real and stuff that keep it real, because real shouldn't even be rare, but it is though, because like I said, what was that Malcolm X said? The most powerful entity in the world is the media. Has the power to make the guilty look innocent and the innocent guilty.
Wow.
And that's what we're seeing right now, though. I mean, he was ahead of his time on a lot of stuff. But you know what I'm saying? Like I said, nobody's really just living in the truth, I mean, until it hit them. But there's always consequences behind your actions and what you do in life. You know what I'm saying? But it just seems like nobody these days don't want to take accountability for nothing.
And you said the keyword accountability. And it's both men and women, both are guilty. For not want to own accountability. And I think the biggest problem is too, a lot of these dating coaches, they setting people up for unrealistic expectations. Anybody who's been in relationships or have been married for a long time knows 80% of the things these dating coaches are putting out there is bullshit.
Oh yeah.
Now take this from somebody who's been married going on 21 years. I'm not on husband 3 or 4. I'm not on baby daddy number 7, number 8. If you want to learn anything the right way, you have to learn from people who not only can tell you, but could also produce receipts that I'm giving you knowledge that worked for me because I've done it. I can't teach you about men and I'm on my 3rd or 4th marriage, on the husband number 3, number 4. I do not have the credibility to tell you that. But what I can tell you is what not to do. But I can't tell you what to do. And the problem is it's a lot of dating coaches. Please, cult members, don't take it wrong. I'm throwing shade at your cult leader. Because I know some of y'all, I don't want y'all flagging me and, or giving Cool Gent. That's why I ain't saying no names. Because there's a lot of cult leaders out here. But I know some of y'all are diehard. Y'all tithe to y'all, cult leader every Sunday, and I get it. The moment anybody has anything to say, you willing to stump on me like I'm a roach in the projects. But I mean no harm. That's why I'm being respectful and not saying any names, on the platform, because I don't want to bring no heat to none of the cult members who worship y'all cult leaders. But I would say this is that you have a lot of dating advice that's giving black men and black women unrealistic expectations. And it's not just male content creators. I listen to these female content creators as well. A lot of them are misleading women and giving them unrealistic expectations as to what kind of black man they should want and what kind of black man they shouldn't want, when it really boils down to you have to choose who is right for you. You don't let anybody dictate what is considered as a good black man or a good black woman to you. Because the truth is this, I have come to discover your preference does not mean it's going to work for you.
Facts.
It's a lot of these dating coaches telling you, this is the kind of woman you need. Stay away from these kind of black women, or stay away from these kind of black men, because you have to find a person that is spiritually yoked.
Ooh, that part right there. That part right there, though. I'm glad you brought on scriptures. That part right there, because I'm gonna tell you, for what I see with some of them, the so-called gurus, what they'll do is they'll tell you, guys, what I'm saying, you shouldn't get with these type of chicks. But some of them have them same particular type of chicks on their shows. So I said, you freaking hypocrite, though. Are you freaking kidding me? And then you want to sit here and lead guys straight and talk about, you need to be more like me. Why the hell do I need to be like you? I don't know who you are. Why should I give you my hard-earned money, though? How long have you been married? You ain't never been married. You know what I'm saying? If I was married, I take advice from people that, like I said, that's been married, 20, 30 plus years. You know what I'm saying? Who've been through the ups and downs, because experience is the best teacher.
The best teacher.
It's the
Amen.
best teacher, though, man. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of dating coaches, they're not spiritual at all. You know what I'm saying? They're not in tune.
They're not.
You know what I'm saying?
They're not spiritual. They're material.
They're material. Everything's material. You know what I'm saying? And you have some female pink pill coaches out there talking about get the bag and stuff like that. That's a bunch of bull crap too, though.
That
is.
I agree.
That's a bunch of bull crap. And I'm like, well, I ain't gonna say that person's name, but you know you are. But you telling, you know what I'm saying, getting the bag from the guys and stuff. So basically, you pretty much don't like the guy for who they are. You just want to take his money, for what he has and stuff. And if you're a man that's making, you know what I'm saying, under 100K, you doing what you're supposed to do. You work, you living right. You know what I'm saying? You got nothing to worry about and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, at the end of the day, all this stuff right now, this material crap, it's gonna rot. You know what I'm saying? We ain't gonna be here forever. We ain't gonna be here forever. All the stuff on this planet is not gonna be here forever, though. It's gonna be gone one day, point blank, period. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, it's a hot mess out here, and some of them need to be called out. Because I can see how they kind of mix the lie in with the truth.
With the truth, yeah.
And I say it very well. I'm like, do anybody else see this? And they're leading their whole 1,000+ audience astray. And I said, man, y'all better wake up.
They're leading the lost because because those. Let me tell you something. If you're already spiritually fed, you're not starved.
Facts.
It's only the hungry that are feasting with these demons. I don't have to feast at the demon's table because I'm already spiritually fed. I'm allowing the word to feed me. I'm building my own spiritual connection with the Most High. And what a lot of people are not understanding is that I'm not feeling any type of way about who's hot right now, who's popping right now, who's the king or the queen of the crop. Because what I do know is everything has an expiration date. And sometimes God will give you a lot of room, a lot of rope to hang yourself. And what a lot of times is sometimes, God will allow even these demons, he will allow them to have high positions for the moment to lead those who already wasn't following God anyway, to lead those astray. So when God finally decides to bring down the demons that are leading, all of those who have been following, they're going to come down too. So that's going to kill more than several birds on one stone. So you have to be careful who you allow to lead you. Now, I also further want to say is that a lot of these dating coaches, they're setting people up for unrealistic expectations because love. When it comes to love, when it comes to relationships, when it comes to marriage, it's not so much a systematic thing. It's a spiritual thing. You have to be spiritually joined to a certain type of man or a certain type of woman. And people are telling you to get things that aren't even qualified. If I'm up here letting a woman tell me, well, you need to get with a man and secure the bag, who's to say that God has designed that man for me? Who's to say, believe it or not, a lot of us are looking for something that is not designed to belong to us. You have women up here looking for high value men, successful men that don't even belong to them. And you also have these successful men who feel like because they own their own businesses, they well dressed, they wear designer labels, they're supposed to be with the top of the crop or whatever. Your idea, your fantasy does not always go in alignment with your reality. You may feel you're entitled to a certain type of man or a certain type of woman, but if it is not in God's desire For you to have that type of man or have that type of woman, you're going to catch hell going out here looking for something that God did not design for you. You know, and that's the harsh reality, because I get it. You got some women, we don't want to be with a man that's struggling, because that's what we're being told. You don't need to be with a man that's struggling. You need to be with a man that already has it together. Who's to say God don't want you to be with a man that already has it together, because you're not going to appreciate him due to the fact that you was not with him during the struggle? Who's to say the man that God has in mind for you is not an attorney? He may be somebody who drives a bus. He may be with somebody, you know, who works for sanitation department, collects trash. But you're so busy looking at the image of what these dating coaches are telling you. Oh no, he can't be a man who works with his hands. He got to be a man that wears a suit. He got to be a man that's a white collar. Then you get with these type of men and you find out they're not easy to deal with. These men that you can secure the bag, these millionaires, they're not easy to be with. Why you think it's so much divorces on Hollywood? If being with men is money, is everything. Why these women ain't sticking by their rich husbands?
And you know what else?
Yeah.
Just to add on to it, you know what I'm saying? Why is it that they get on these particular shows, the ladies, and they crying and talk about, all I want is respect for my man, though. He works too much and stuff. But it's like, isn't that what you want? You know what I'm saying? The guy with the bag and stuff like that. But then a lot of them idiots, though, man, they get married to like materialistic women like that. And then you always hear stories on top about, you know what I'm saying, so getting 200,000 or 200 million out of from a divorce. It's always stories like that floating around, though. And it's like, why do they marry these particular type of women? You know what I'm saying? When they never had their best interest in the first place. I just don't get it. I mean, everybody, in this country is so materialistic, and it's like we push away. They want the surface of things instead of the substance of things.
Yes, surface instead of substance. That's a good one, bro.
That's what they want, though. Everybody's is surface level. You know what I'm saying? But they don't like the criticism. They don't like reaching to the core of being themselves, being who they are. It's just everybody. I mean, it's just a lot of fakeness out here, and it just makes me feel like I'm in the Matrix. You know, I feel like I'm in the Matrix. You know, it's like, man, it's like how can people live with themselves like that? I mean, just going around being fake. I mean, who are you trying to prove being fake to? You know what I'm saying? Because all you got is, you know, say yourself at the end of the day.
But you know what? Being fake is being artificial is hard work, because once you put up that front, you got to consistently present that. You know, and prime example, Derek Jackson. Derek Jackson, prime example. He was the infamous dating coach guru that had a lot of women, vulnerable women who lacked self-esteem. He played on that. He benefited off of that. And he set up here and played on the emotions of women who already didn't feel worthy, who already didn't feel like they were qualified queens or whatever. He played on that. And it came a point, sometimes, you know, it comes a point when God gets fed up with people being misled, especially by people that are well admired. And God is going to only allow you to mislead his flock for but so long. You know, he'll let you get away with it for a while, but just like the people you manipulate, those are going to be the same people that God are going to bring you to ruin in front of, because God has to make an example out of somebody to show people that this is not the way. I allowed you to see this person get successful. I allowed you to see this person become popular, but I'm also going to show you what happens when you abuse your power, when you abuse your popularity, and you use it to benefit off the weaknesses of people. Because I realized the key to this gender war thing. I realized that, as I stated before when me and you first started out, is that a lot of people feel more comfortable with hate when they got another group of people who also share their same ideologies about hate. You know, it brings me back to that time in high school when there was just this one particular bully none of us didn't like. You know, and it came a point when it strengthened numbers. All of us was able to come together and out overpower the bully that all of us felt threatened by and didn't like at the same time. Because what I've come to realize about black men and black women, we only don't like what we are threatened by.
Facts.
We only don't like what we are threatened by. If we are threatened by it, we are going to find a way not to like it. And we're going to try to look for other people to join us in helping us not like it. And that's the problem with the gender war. As I stated, it's this bitter pill. It's this bitter pill broken community. Is that so many black men have been disappointed by black women, and so many black women have been disappointed by black men. And what has happened is we have lost trust, and we have lost respect for one another. So whenever you hear a black man's failure, that's why all these sisters are coming together and celebrating and throwing a party, throwing confetti. They're rejoicing. And the same thing with these black men. When they find out these black women and got with white men who dogged them or took their money, they quit to do content on it. They quit to celebrate it. Black people is the only race we will celebrate each other's failure.
That's facts.
I don't see other races celebrate each other's failures like we do. It never fails. Something happens with a black woman. It's these same bedroom black women content creators. They the first to upload a story on it. Can't wait to give an opinion. See, this is what we're talking about. Another swirler. Thought she had it going on. That's what she get. Thinking it was going to be easy on the other side. And women are guilty of it. Let a brother's white wife divorce him. Or take him to the cleaners. You know how many black women was going in on Dr. Dre, how happy they was when his white queen, Puerto Rican, whatever the hell she is, was divorcing him? They couldn't wait. You know how many bitter sisters was uploading content? They couldn't wait. And it's so sad and it's so unfortunate that black men and black women, we love to see each other
fall.
Just destruct. You ever notice that?
Yep. It's all around us. It's like we can't wait for something bad to happen to each other, though. You know what I'm saying? You see, I told you this is what all black women are saying, or this is why all black men are saying stuff. Like we just go at each other's throats, but no other ethnic group or people on this planet do that but us here in this country, though. We do this all the freaking time. I mean, the division going, and it's like, why don't we get a chance to meet somewhere like in the middle? To where like both sides can take accountability, you know, and shout out to Sheep Stay Sleep, you know, as he always says, you know what I'm saying, heal before you build.
Very good one. Heal before you build. So true. And that's a true statement because really, believe it or not, as the saying goes, hurt people.
Yep.
And when believe it or not, when I hear a black man bashing a black woman, bashing black women all the time, and vice versa, when I hear black women do it, it's really a cry out for help.
Yeah,
we don't want to look at it that way, but
it is.
It's you can't hate something that much unless you loved it once upon a time. You feel me?
That's facts. That's facts.
You had to love it.
Yeah.
Once upon a time, like a pastor, like my pastor was saying. You're not going to hate something you don't care about, because think about it. If you don't care about it, you're not going to put under your emotions to it. If you hate it, it's because you love it. And I realize, and I'll speak for black women, you know, because I'm one. I realized before I got to a place, before I got married, I can be transparent. I'll put myself on blast. I had a lot of resentment for black men because of what I had gone through. I had gone through a dark place in which I just could not find a man who really appreciated me for me. So it made me very bitter and resentful. And especially I was at the time when I was going through that dark place, I was living in a town that was interracial. So add that on top of what I was feeling. I was already feeling not desired. And this was a woman who didn't have baby daddies. You know, I'm not a sister I wasn't, you know, I had all this excess baggage and looking for somebody to rescue me. I in my mind, I felt like, you know, I was qualified to be somebody's companion, but sometimes it's not always that you're not worth getting someone. It just has everything to do with the season and the area. It's so many different factors that restrict you from getting a good black man or getting a good black woman, because where I was living, certain cities, I'm telling you, sometimes you got to branch out.
That's fact.
You can't stay, you can't find a good man, a good woman where you've been born and raised all your life.
That's right.
You get what I'm saying?
I just got no
sense outside the box.
Yep, you got to.
And that's what I realized I had to do, because where I was living at the time, it was like straight checkerboard. It was like seeing a chess game, black, white, white, black, white, and that took a toll on me, and it really made me resent black men, because at the time I did not have one of my own. So every time I saw a black man with a white woman, it made me feel like she took something that could have potentially worked for me. Yours. And that's what made me very angry. But I've come to realize, and this is what a lot of black women have to realize, there's a lot of black men got to understand. You don't have to hate or have an issue with somebody who's swirling or somebody who's interracial dating, because it does not mean that black woman would have been the right woman for you, or that black man would have been the right man for you. You know what I mean? So it's this thing to where black people, we don't like each other, but then we feel like we got some type of ownership. Like, right. You know, who is he to be with this white woman? He couldn't date a sister, or who is she to be with this white man? And it's crazy because we don't want to be with each other, but I find it ironic that we got an opinion when we see each other with someone else. It's like, okay, damn, you telling me I'm not your type, but when I decide to step outside the box and date somebody who's willing to be with me, regardless of whatever the color of his or her skin, you got a problem with that.
You know, I gotta say this too. Be careful of the advertisers, and the agenda is all part of the agenda to keep us broken, to keep us unstable with each other. You know what I'm saying? And I just thinking about what you saying, Mocha, was that you can't hate something so much for what you used to love. You know, because even for us men, like, we love you all, but I know that we've been broken too. A lot of us have. And it's like, you know, we got to start somewhere, you know, to where we can heal and go from there. Because like I said, the hating stuff can only last for so long. You know, you can't continuously put that off to the next generation. You know what I'm saying? Having the younger boys and girls come up to be grown men and women to hate each other. Like, that's not even healthy right there. That's really it's like we basically practicing genocide. I guess you could say it like that. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And like I said, the media is already, the agenda already pushing that out there for, you know, for us. You know what I'm saying? You know, don't do this. You know what I'm saying? Be with this person. Do this. Do that. You know, we got the online gurus, stuff like that, telling men, you know what I'm saying, just to pump and dump, which I totally disagree with. You know, and some of them need to be called out. You know, I'm off about, you know, building healthy relationships, marriage, all of that. You know what I'm saying? God created marriage, though. You know what I'm saying? It's a union. So
it is.
You know, it's just sad. I mean, for what I'm saying, it's like, yo, I just don't know how long this place can be here. You can't go through life.
I think the waves are going to overturn, and then you got to realize too, a lot of these dating coaches, they could be telling y'all the right things, but for the wrong reasons. You know, believe it or not, some people don't want to see other people happy. You can't think because a person is in a successful place that that person already successful. Why would they have a reason to tell somebody not to do something or not to have something when they got it all. Just because somebody looks like they have it all, that don't mean they're happy.
Right.
You got people that are successful and are wealthy, and they will tell you, "Oh, you don't need a man. Oh, you don't need to get married. Oh, you don't need a wife. Oh, just pump and dump." You have these people that tell you these things because they want you to be unhappy like them. It's no different than having that miserable ass single friend, who always got something to say about men. And I'm sure some of you guys go through that. It's always that one bitter ass brother of yours. Oh, women ain't this, women ain't that. And when the truth is, he really wish he did have a woman who would love him, who would appreciate him. But the ego is going to make him camouflage that and just be on some hate and shit. Like, women ain't this, women ain't that. And I said, women do it all the time. I know women. I've had female friends who acted like they were so happy without a man. And the moment, I would share certain things with them because we was going through a moment. And see, that's why I'm glad I ain't got nobody. And that's why I'm single, because this and that and blah, blah, blah. Everybody is not wanting to see you win. So y'all have to realize while y'all clapping and cheering every time a black man goes in on a black woman or a black woman goes in on a black man, we're so quick to cheer and throw our pom-poms together and do backwards flips and splits and stuff because we're just so happy in the moment that the opposite sex is getting badgered. Because again, I think a lot of this comes from the fact that the reason why a lot of black men and black women love to see these dating coaches badger a certain individual, because what it does, it gives them the voice they never had.
Yeah,
it gives that voice. You get what I'm saying?
Yep, the platforms. Yep, gives us a voice. Some of them don't need it. Truth be told, to come on here and just degrade everybody. Some of them really don't need it. But for some of us that do put our content out there, I mean, it's something that people can stick with glue with it because they see what's going on. And I think some of the people are going to get tired of, after a while, of talking about, the division. And they're going to want to come to like people like you or someone like I speaking some truth. And it's like, wow, I never seen it from this particular perspective. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
because, because of some of the previous, content creators they could have been listening to wasn't really like feeding them. I should say, in a way, spiritual, I guess you could say.
Right.
Versus us, to where we we may come here with the word and a great upliftment, it's like, wow, I appreciate that. So I'm careful about what I put out there, in the world. My content and stuff could be something that can last. And it's also useful for somebody that needs to listen to, be like a young black boy or something like that never had a father figure in their life. Like they could come on the stream and watch it and just like really get something from it and take it with them, with them for life. Same with you all, the younger ladies and stuff. So it's our responsibility, even if you ain't got no kids, like try to be a good role model, try to be something positive, because the world is already in turmoil. It's in shambles. So just try to be that example and try to stand out too, because it can be difficult standing out. But I'm careful with being unfamous, as well, brother Ray J said. So
it is, yeah. It's just, it's really, it's an individual choice. You can listen, you can feel comfortable listening to garbage or expand your horizons and really adopt you some knowledge. It's very easy to fall complacent because in certain spaces they joke a lot, they laugh a lot, and I get it. The mockery can be entertaining sometimes. Don't get me wrong, I like a little fuckery here and there.
Yeah.
It can be a little fun, but honestly, the older that I'm getting, I'm finding out that I'm having to detox from it. I don't listen to a lot of these guys and these women. I don't listen to a lot of them because to me, it's just not healthy. And I'm not going to listen to channels that's going to make me feel down about myself, because they're just verbally bashing black women day in and day out. It has nothing to do with my confidence or nothing to do with the fact that I shouldn't allow it to get to me. But when you listen to that stuff long enough, it will start to eat you up like cancer.
Yeah,
and I recommend men the same thing. I mean, I ain't no man gonna go to a place in space where black women just dragging them through the mud and putting them down and bad mouthing them. I mean, and it doesn't make you a coward. And it doesn't make you less of a woman if you avoid certain going to spaces with these men chat rooms where they be in pit bulls, where as soon as a woman has a different opinion, they going in and blocking her comments and timing her out and stuff like that. You have to go to places that's not going to enable you, but that's going to build you. I'm not saying you got to go somewhere where people going to always pat you on your back and always tell you a queen and you're beautiful and you deserve the best kind of black man in the world. I'm not saying you got to go places where people enable you, but you don't have to go places where people are attacking you and making you second guess yourself to where, am I good enough? Am I pretty enough? Am I, valuable enough? And I honestly would like to say this too. Have a life outside of social media.
Right.
It just amazes me, these grown black men and grown black women who like to call in shows and seek advice. For what? You mean to tell me you're not close to nobody in your family? You don't have older men in your family? If anything, if you're going to get advice from a man, ladies, I tell women this all the time. If you're going to get advice from a man, talk to your ex-boyfriends. Talk to your ex-husbands. If you really want some truth about you and your ways and how you are, talk to men who have had relationships with you. They will give you a real assessment. There's no man that's going to be able to assess you within 10-15-minute phone call. You're not going to get a real assessment because that person is only giving you advice based on the information you give them within that 10-15-minute time frame.
Right.
Talk to ex-husbands. Talk to ex-boyfriends. If all of these dudes don't know each other and all of them are saying the same thing, you got your answer right there. If 3 of them out of 5 said the same thing, that's one of your problems there. If you don't feel comfortable talking to your ex-husband or your ex-boyfriends, or y'all just don't get along like that, talk to the older men in your family. There's uncles, you got brothers. It's so many other places where you can authentically get advice. I would never go on nobody's show, man or woman. I'm not calling in for you to attack me because you want to make a mockery out of me to entertain your audience. When I'm calling you because I'm in trouble about something. But let's play devil's advocate. Some of these people are calling in because they want attention. Let's just call it for what it is.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
We're not just going to blame these dating coaches because a lot of these people are attention seeking. And you know what's starting to happen, Coogent, and maybe you peep this or not. I'm starting to notice it's just as much black men seeking attention than there is black women. What's your intake on that?
Oh, yeah, that's very true. I'm so glad you brought that up. You calling in on certain shows. You know how that particular content creator or guru, I should say, is, you know what I'm saying, just to make yourself look like an idiot. And then, you know what I'm saying, when they tell them about themselves to, hang up on them when they have an opinion, then they want to go and do a video about it. You know what I'm saying? It's a hot mess, especially like I said, some of the ladies over there, they call in on Mr. Scamuel's channel though, and it's like, why y'all doing this, making yourself look like a fool, and kind of making the certain gender look bad. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you're not listening to the right person, taking advice from the right person though, especially if they're not spiritual. But I mean, right. it's like it's gonna take something really crazy to happen for them to get like a wake up call, because everybody's not gonna get it.
I mean, exactly. This where you have to have, this is where spiritual discernment comes in. I've always been one, like I said, you have to find your own spiritual zone Because I, for one, I've always done the opposite. I don't know if I'm a rebellious soul, but if I see 500 people going one way, I'm gonna intentionally go the opposite. Because for
Same
one,
here.
I don't like crowds.
Same.
And I feel like the more people that's in one box, one direction, that's most likely where the confusion is going to be. That's most likely where the chaos is going to be. That's most likely where the drama is going to be. I've always been I've never been too much of a follower.
Uh-huh.
I don't like to go everywhere the crowd goes. Let me tell you something. I'm so anti-social, Cool Gent. Like if I'm pumping my gas, it's a true story. You know how you go to the gas station and you put your debit card in the gas pump and it
Right.
won't take your card. You know it's money on there, but it won't take your card. It tells you see the cashier. I will pull off because
Right.
that's just how I don't feel like being bothered with nobody. I'm gonna go to the gas station. I was gonna take my card where I could pay, pump my gas, and keep it going. I don't feel like trying to be in the circle and travel with everybody and be everywhere everybody else goes. You know, I'm not in the business of doing that. And a lot of that comes with is confidence to be able to go a whole nother direction, even if it means people are going to look at you funny, even if it means people are going to judge you. Oh, she thinks she all of that, or oh, she must be hanging out over here because she know we could expose her, or we're going to find out something on her. I've just gotten to a point in my life where less is best. I want to go places where there's less people, where there's less traffic. It's so bad, these popular content creators, you can't even ask them an opinion about something because there's so much fucking traffic. The damn chat rooms is just flooding with comments. And you know it's bad if you send your money. You know how you used to send your money and your comment would get read?
Yeah.
When you sent that $2-3 chat. It's so many people sending chats. Even your chat ain't even getting acknowledged.
No, not at all.
$5, $10, $20, $30. I'm like, I can't even enjoy myself in the type of chat rooms because I want to be able to interact, you know, with the people in the chat. Like in here, it's not a lot of people. So if I want to holler at call to truth or say something to Joe W, or Brown Dude, or whoever, it's not so much traffic to where we cannot speak to each other and hold a dialogue. You know, a lot of these other channels is so flooded. It got so much traffic. You're not even being heard.
Nope.
I peeped a couple of places, and as soon as I put my comment in, the shit gone.
Oh, yeah,
so many other people that's coming in, and I'm like, I can't even go places where I can really hold a dialogue. So I've been going in channels like yours. Well, hey, ain't a lot of people there, and I'm comfortable with that because I want to hold a real dialogue. I got a question. I got things I want to ask. I'm not trying to go through all that damn traffic. I got to send a cash app, and when I send it, you're not going to see it.
Yeah.
Because 30, 40 other people.
You're right. You're right. They don't read none of it though. But I'm gonna tell you what else is kind of upset me too. Well, I understand, like, you know what I'm saying, you're a content creator, you know what I'm saying, you going on, you in the zone. Someone put a super chat, that's understandable. But you know, for someone to say like you can donate a couple of times to, but then they never read it, but they read everybody else's, that lets you know something was up like that though.
Yeah.
You know, that part right there. So it's like it's only a few people that I support. Like my support has really decreased nowadays because, like I said, a lot of people, like I said, they're changing their messages and stuff. It's like there was once on one of the side that you want to hear with the truth, but now they're going with the side of the lies, and it's like I can't deal with it. I mean, it's just lukewarm, and I'm like, I'm not with it at all. You know what I'm saying? That gets me fierce. Cause like I said, I had donated to like someone in particular. I said, I did to test it out, see if they're gonna read it. And she know who she is though. She don't come on YouTube no more. But yeah, and I said, okay, I knew something was up. I don't know why, but I guess because I had said something very true, and I guess it kind of got to her. But I don't care. I speak my mind for what it is, and I always have, and I always will. So it's only a few of y'all that I truly do support. I support the small, you know, content creators that make a lot of sense. You know, that's in the truth, that's logical. And because some of the other ones, the big ones and stuff, I mean, there are some, I mean, I ain't saying all of them, but there's probably a few in between that's like, all right, okay, I could deal with that. But other than that, like, nah.
it seems like something about when a platform starts to grow, it seems like it starts to become, it starts to take away the authenticity. Because what's starting to happen as a content creator, a lot of them are becoming obsessed with numbers.
Yep.
To the point where some of them cannot go a day without going live. You have some of these content creators, they have more life on through social media than through their social life. They have become so consumed and so obsessed and addicted to social media mainstream, to the point, and I'm not gonna say this person's name, and some of y'all probably already have an idea who he is, but I would say it's not Kevin. It's another one who been out way before him. I ain't gonna say his name. None of y'all need to mention his name in the chat. Once I say it, you'll probably have an idea like, oh, okay, I get it. You know, just thumb me up if you got an idea. But I remember this one particular guy who definitely social media is his life. He still has his platform to this day. And he's also one of those bitter guys that was once upon a time a big fan of KS until his mediocre brethren channel started outshining his. So he's gotten on bitter pill mode among the other guys who all was with Mr. Samuels when he was a nobody, when nobody knew who the hell he was. But it's like it's like a high school. It's kind of like you was the popular kid, popular guys. You know how the jocks are populars, and you know how it was that one nerd in the classroom that nobody even looked at, and the jocks decided to take on a nerd because the nerd was smart and they felt like he could be an asset. And here it is, the nerdy guy outshining the jocks, and that's kind of what had happened. But this particular individual, he had become so obsessed and so consumed with having the live stream all the time that when his wife or girlfriend was having a situation with his kids bickering or not doing something, and she came in the middle of him live streaming to address him, he went slap the hell off. He lost it. Like he was so into pleasing his fans, so into doing his content that he lost it when he was interrupted. I'm like, you're so busy trying to go about your live stream and do your content, but your family has a situation and you don't want to stop and help your family with what's going on. This dude literally went off. Why the fuck is y'all in here? Da 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 da. And I'm like, wait a minute. That's your woman and your kids. But believe me, your fans love you enough. If you was to come on here and say, look, I'm about to do an intercession. Let me take care of this. Play your little damn Wu-Tang, play your little music. Take care of your family. Come back and finish your content. He was so into going off about this significant other. He got upset because somebody was interrupting his live stream. This is family. And he went off, and I'm like, this how you know when people have consumed so much of social media that it takes away from their real life. I know people, I ain't gonna say other names, who done lost their wives, who done lost their husbands with this social media mess. You lost real marriages over real relationships, people who was with you before you started a YouTube. There's people who done lost relationships. I'm like, I'll be damned if I lose my husband over some damn cyber Negroes. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, and you got dudes who done lost. It's a dude, we ain't got to say his name. He lost his wife over a cyber concubine.
Sad.
Concubines, people that got addicted to social media, like for real.
Yep. And I was thinking about the particular guy. I know when I say his name, got it to somebody else, it's always this alpha versus beta stuff, I guess like you just stop. And it just went on and on and on. And one of his close members had to calm him down. I'm like, man, this is some crazy stuff. I said, the internet used to be a safe place for the people to come on here and just research some things. But now this is the new hood, though I said several times before. I mean, this is where everything happens at. It's not out in the physical streets, but this is the streets right here. The YouTube street.
So, YouTube is like the black sector is like being in the projects. It's always a damn fight. It's always damn mayhem. And black men and black women, it's becoming like the damn Bloods and the Crips.
Yeah,
it's just wars day in and day out.
It is online keyboard gangsters. Yep.
Yeah, keyboard gangsters, panel prostitutes, cyber concubines, cyber Negroes. It's also social media brings out the worst in people. If you're not utilizing your platform to build, or to construct, it will deconstruct. You will disconstruct, and you think about how many YouTubers have committed suicide.
Oh,
because you got, and these were popular content creators. They didn't have struggle platforms like myself. Yeah. They was big in the game, but it just goes to show you there's not enough of love and fulfillment from man. And this is why it's very important to know God, have a solid relationship with God, because people will love you today, but make one mistake, one mishap, get caught in one little scandal.
Yep.
And people will forget all your good works and good efforts. And that's the sad part, like I resorting back to Derek Jackson. You had a lot of these guys, they were celebrating his failure. And they tried to make it seem like, they was more happy with the fact that this one man who was supporting black women that got exposed, now it gave them the one up to make black women feel worse. Like, see, this the sucker y'all was supporting. This was the sucker y'all was tithing to. This was the sucker who books y'all was buying. They didn't care about the fact that he deceived black women. They was more so glad with the fact that he had failed. It had nothing to do with him supporting black women or not. They was rejoicing the fact that by Derek Jackson failing, that meant that was more room for them to intrude and get the subscribers that he had lost. But I would say he brought that upon himself, because you pretended to be something you wasn't. But guess what? He ain't the only one I was going to get exposed. It's more to come.
Trust me. I said last year, I said, and some of the other brothers know too, it's in the truth. Said, man, it's going to be more of these dating coaches and stuff like being exposed. And it's already happening right now. Alpha male scammers. Yeah, I said his name. You know what I'm saying? We seen what you did out there, dude. We seen what you did out there in that video. You know what I'm saying? You froze up like you was in Wakanda, though, man. You know what I'm saying? Asking what the chick said, though, man. We seen that video. I think he still got it posted, but yeah, that was crazy. And he got exposed for what he did to it, and several others too along the way, one by one.
Really?
Some even deleted their channel, though. Some even deleted their channel, though, their content, though. So yeah, I mean, it's happening, though, as we speak.
It is, because like I said, you have to realize once you hit that certain plateau, you basically got to walk a straight and narrow line. And see, it don't take much. Eventually, your true colors will eventually reflect. You're not going to be. Eventually, you're just going to rub somebody the wrong way, and it's not because you're being an ass. It's just that you're a human being. So no matter how much you may try to please people by doing content that's attacking a certain group of individuals and things of that nature, eventually you're gonna slip somewhere, because we all got skeletons in our closet. It got nothing to do with you being successful. You got a big channel, not a big channel. Eventually, you're not gonna cross all your T's. You're not gonna dot all your I's, or it's gonna take you to piss somebody off that's close to you in your camp, that's with you right now. The moment you fall out with them, or you renege on them, or you don't look out for them when they thought, okay, I've been rocking with you all this time, now it's your turn to repay the favor and you don't. These same people that's helping you to build your brand, all it takes is one mishap and they can destroy you.
Yeah.
Because you have to realize, the bigger you are, the more popular you are, you got enemies all over the place. Like I hear, like for instance, I be hearing content creators, they quick to want to blame women for their channels getting flagged. They quick to want to blame certain individuals. When the truth is, you got so many goddamn enemies. What makes you think it's just women? A lot of times, who you think your enemy is, it be the complete opposite. Because some people know you are so hated, they can get away with doing some shit to you, and you automatically think it's gonna be women. Because you have to believe it or not, you got a lot of men up here that's doing womanly stuff. They get mad, they the ones flagging y'all shits too. They the ones that's, throwing y'all up under the bus. You think every time it's a flag, you want to think it's the Bitter Sisterhood or the Sister Swirling Committee that's flagging your channel. But when you got so many enemies, you really can't pinpoint who did what. I hear guys all the time, yeah, I know so-and-so flagged me. I know you don't know who flagged you, because everybody ain't crazy about you like that. Because what I said earlier, for every 1,000 subscribers that like you, double that. There's 2 who don't.
Oh, yeah.
If you got 6,000 subscribers who love you, that means it's 8,000 who hate you. So while you swearing the enemy is coming from this side, the enemy ain't always who you think. The enemy, know who the enemies are, Coolgent? The enemies are the ones that's cash apping you. The enemies are the ones that are members of your platform. They paying you to destroy you, because they're the ones that are more closer to you. So if I'm coming in your channel, I'm paying you to come in your channel and stuff like that, you thinking I'm loyal, but I'm paying you so I can get close to you to destroy you. Remember the movie New Jack City? Yeah, what did Scotty do to get close to Nino?
Yeah.
He had to come in and get close to G Money. Somebody who Nino respected. Somebody who Nino trusted with everything. And when it boiled down to it, Scotty, to his advantage, he used G Money against Nino. And that's when Nino ended up having to take G Money out. They let the enemy get close. And that is the way a lot of these content creators, they're not understanding. You swear it's certain people. And the main ones who are burning you are the ones that are in your same camp. That's in your circle.
Yeah,
some people will pay you just to destroy you. You know that.
Oh yeah, that's true too though. It's just some of the other ones that don't really want to see you succeed and stuff. Don't want to see you grow in life. Wherever you are in your life, like they just don't want to see you grow. Close family, all this. Someone who you least expected. So it's a lot of this. It's a lot of this going on. Here and there. I mean, I've seen a panel full, full of people and stuff. Man, some of them cool. But then next day they go at each other's throats, and it was kind of funny though. I mean, like it was live stream. The ladies, all cool and stuff on there. But then like the next day, someone was going at each other's throats. I'm like, dang, y'all just friends like this. Like the other day, I'm like, what happened? So I mean, you see a lot of that, here and there, every now and then. But sometimes, I mean, it's just hard for grown people to grow up.
You ain't lying. That's the reason why I really don't do too much of these YouTube clicks because I've seen too many people start off strong together only to fall out.
Yeah.
And I can't tell you, there's so many dudes on YouTube who broke up as panelists and got back together so many times. I mean, it's so many dudes that's breaking up and then, you know, back to doing panels again, like a toxic ass, you know, homo, you know what I mean, relationship. Right. Y'all together, y'all fell out on the panel, and here it is, you turn around, you know what I'm saying, and y'all back doing panels again. I'm like, I ain't trying to be funny, but once a person has disrespected you in a certain manner, certain thing, I don't think you need to be rehashing. That don't mean you need to be enemies, but once a person has crossed a certain line, I've seen dudes cross certain lines with these guys on the panels. I'm like, you done sit up here and call this person a punk mother effer, and how y'all just squash it and y'all back friends, you know what I mean? You leave yourself room to be disrespected because you're tolerating somebody who already done broke the code, you know. And then the biggest thing is I'm noticing a lot of these men, they letting women cause confusion, you know, in their platforms, in their panels. A lot of that's going on.
Yep. What I see, how can I say this? Which is already happening, you know, to both genders, you know what I'm saying? You'll hear like, you know, the men, you know, say like, you know what I'm saying, man, you know what I'm saying, if these chicks and you have the female in one gender, other gender say, you know what I'm saying, if these dudes and stuff, and sometimes you got to be careful with that because what they can actually do is that particular content creator that hates like the opposite sex can lead you, try to get you to be with the same sex. Like, so just something you got to be very mindful of because that leads off to a whole nother, you know, thing, you know, abomination and stuff, man. And, you know, can't roll like that. So I just something I want to put out there.
Again, because it's called being woke. When you woke, as you said earlier, you don't look at the surface, you look at the substance.
Right.
And I'm gonna steal that one. I'm gonna be using that one a lot because that's the truth.
That's the truth.
You can't look at what people do. You got to always wonder why.
Right.
Why? I tell you, I had a particular friend one time used to do a lot of nice stuff for me. Mm-hmm. And I couldn't understand. I'm like, why is this person so giving? Why is this person now? Anybody who look in the surface, oh, she's nice. She's just cool like that. She's just giving like that. And I just knew there was a catch. I'm like, nah, something up. This girl is always doing something for nothing. Ain't nobody this goddamn generous. And sure enough, when we fell out, what happened? You had to bring up everything you ever did, and she brought it. Some people will give you to keep you in debt. Yeah. So I always tell people you can't look at what people do, but why they do it. If a person is giving content based on bashing a certain group of people, and that is who they address the majority of the time, you got to look deep into the motive. Why is this person always having a problem with women? That is all he talks about. Or why does this woman, the majority of her content is about dragging men? Because if you really look deep in people's closet, it's something that has transpired that has made them adopt the philosophies they have. You don't know if they've been molested. You don't know if they've been raped. You don't know, and same thing for men. You know, you don't know what could happen in certain individuals' life that made them change and want to be with the same sex. You don't know what triggered, because everybody's life is not displayed on the billboard. You're not gonna always know, you know, what people have gone through. You look at the success, but you don't know all the mess. You know, you don't know the mess that's behind it. Why is this person always talking of black women? Did he have black women who did him in? Is it because the black women he wanted did not want him? Did not find him desirable? And now that he's successful, this is his turn to retaliate and get back. Cause I'm not that little ugly squirrel looking dude at high school, or I'm not that dude that was rejected for prom dates. I'm telling you, the majority of the black bashing, whether if you're a black woman that's bashing black men or you're a black man that's bashing black women, majority of it stems from rejection. Rejection has a lot to do with why people be on attack mode. Because think about it, if you was bullied all the time in high school, let's say if you was the fat girl, you was fat boy, you was overweight as a child, and you know how cruel kids could be in that era. You know, they calling you fat, saying you bust up, you know, even though it don't matter how successful you are now, and you may not have those weight problems, but it still affects your psyche. And when you, even though it might have happened in your childhood, now that you're a full-grown woman and you because of the abuse that you've gone through, you done tightened up, you got your body right, you're not that fat, chubby little girl that nobody was checking for, nobody asked to the prom, all the guys rejected and made fun of you and all of that. Now you feel entitled to retaliating and rejecting all black men because you never got past the little black boys that rejected your ass in middle school, elementary school. And when I see an older black man or older black woman constantly going in on a certain gender, it's because something happened somewhere in your childhood during your youth, and where you couldn't defend yourself then like you could now. Yeah, you well dressed now. Yeah, you successful now. But if you go dig up their past and see, you know, they came from poverty, or they came from a dysfunctional family, it's something that triggered that level of animosity. I mean, I could say it myself. I have had my share of rejection.
Right.
And I think we all have gone through that rejection. Whether
Everybody.
you was the skinny girl that was flat chested and none of the dudes was checking for you, or you was the one of the boys that you was always ashy, no matter how much lotion people put on you. You still was ashy. You know, whatever falls or faults you had, it will shape your psyche.
Right, it will.
You know, I don't care if it happened 30, 40, 50 years ago. Because I remember there was one guy that really, like, he was really mean to me. And I ran into this guy like years later. Full grown man, nothing like a little boy that tortured me. But I had to tell him, I said, you was really mean to me in high school. And he apologized for it. You know, he was like, well, I'm sorry I didn't, you know, he was such a bully. His name was DeAndre. That's how much I remembered how much he used to torment me. He was really, really mean and nasty, you know. And when I saw him, it brought back all those old emotions, you know, even though I'm a full grown woman and it happened years ago. Certain things happen to you. It don't leave you. It don't leave you. And what it is, you got a lot of grown men and grown women on here who's using a platform as a way to get back at what rejected them or what didn't accept them. That's what's going on.
Right. You know what they say? You know, guys, well, how did it go? Guys' rejection, let's see, it's basically redirection. That's what I always say. You know what I'm saying? To something much better. You know what I'm saying? So what? You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people, when they didn't go to prom, I didn't get a chance to go to my prom. You know what I'm saying? I was doing other things, but that never hold me back into being the person that I want to become. And because like I said, there's always something better in life. You know what I'm saying? I always say that. And the guys who've been hurt, which that particular person we know about, I can say his name, who talks about his prom stuff, you know, talk about this right here, this right here hurt me. But it's funny though, but then it's sad because it's like, bro, you like 50 plus years old.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Well, now you're trying to pass that same story to the young generation, the younger men, and you want them to adopt your hate too.
Yeah.
I'm like, come on now. I mean, you can't do that. And they're ladies. I mean, I went to school with at the time. I mean, they some of them never went to their prom. Some of them not even married to this day. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I mean, the world is bigger than high school. It's a whole lot bigger than high school, though. You know, you have, like you said from the beginning, you have to move around, get out your small towns, go elsewhere, because that's the reason why a lot of both men and women are frustrated too. They in the same town, and some may have outgrown the town, and they're just it's just so much to do out here besides being in the same area. Just go somewhere else, But yeah, I don't want to let the past hold me back. I can't let the past hold me back. I'm always looking forward to the future.
And you're right about that, cool. But not only we got to change our environment, you got to change your mindset, because you can relocate to another city, but if your mindset is still stagnant and you still hold on to that anger and animosity, you'll take it everywhere you go. You'll go to a whole other county with the same attitude.
Yep, mindset is everything. Mindset, that's facts all day long right there. Mindset is everything. So yeah, I mean, like I said, like you said, I could tell when they do a particular channel, a topic, and it's just consistently talk about it, having a hate for, but the opposite sex, like you said, it's something that they had been through in their past, and they carry it on this platform. So like, it gives everybody a voice now, and they try to get, saying a particular same gender to hate other opposite genders. And you've been saying that and stuff. I'm like, man, this is crazy. You know what I'm saying? Oh man, you like women, don't man? Oh no, man, my bad, dog. I mean, I'm like, what? Like, what the hell is this? But they can't think for themselves. But yeah.
It's definitely, like I said, we have to make an individual choice. You're going to follow what's in your character. If you're a toxic person, you're going to follow toxic content. If you're a bitter black woman, you're going to follow the bitter black women. If you still a scorned black man, you're going to follow the scorned black men. And just because a person, like I said, a person doesn't have to look like what they've been through.
Right.
Everybody knows how to produce. A lot of people are producing false packages. I can act like I'm the happiest woman in the world, and I'm, because of my success, I could dress successful, act successful, brag about my money, but it still does not mean I'm happy with who I am in life and where I am at life. Anybody could be successful, but being success and happiness is not the same thing. Because I know a lot of successful, miserable ass people. Why you think a lot of these millionaires, be killing themselves, committing suicides, drinking themselves to death, using drugs, and they don't have the problems we have. They ain't got to, worry about paying their bills. They ain't got to worry about how they're gonna pay their mortgage, but it's still not enough. All of these earthly possessions are only for a little while. Earthly possessions are only going to bring you temporary fulfillment.
Yeah.
Even after you have these things, you're still going to need deeper fulfillment. It's like, no matter how much you go to a buffet and you stuff yourself, eventually you're going to be hungry again.
Right.
You're going to be hungry again. You're going to have to digest that food, and you're going to be hungry again. It's not like once you eat all of that, you're not hungry for a week. You're still going to be hungry the next day. And that's the way it is with these earthly possessions. It doesn't matter how much success you got. Success will always make you hunger for more. Money will always make you hunger for more. And like a pastor of mine told me, money just makes you more of what you are. If you're already arrogant, when you was broke, you're going to be arrogant while you're rich. If you was an asshole when you was broke, you're going to be more of an asshole when you're rich. So money just enhances your bad qualities. And you have to keep in mind, sometimes God will give you success just to see how you're going to act. Just to see that the flesh is never satisfied, like Brown Dude said. God will give you just to see how you're going to treat people, just to see how you're going to, respect people. And once he sees that you have abused his blessings, you have abused all of the gifts he has given you, and you have used it maliciously, that is when he will bring you down to ruin. In front of those who admire you and have put you on the pedestal. And that's why I'm not trying to be funny. I don't call nobody king. I don't call nobody God, because to me that's a disgrace to our Lord and Savior.
Yep.
So we have to be careful how we give people certain names
Right.
and titles, because God is a jealous God.
Facts.
And you put a
True.
curse upon that person when you giving them high titles, you know.
That's very true. Man, shout out to everybody that's tuned in, man. This is a really, really awesome stream. Shout out to you, Aunt Maddie, though. Much love to you. Much love to you, though, man.
For sure. Big
See,
up
man.
to
Shout out
that.
to you, man. Yeah, man. I see y'all dropping a lot of fire um, comments, man. Like this one, Joe W. Like I always say, I have been to hell and back, and I don't smell like smoke, and I don't look like it, man. Bro, what you said, man?
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh,
bro.
I gotta steal that one too.
Yeah, man. That's real talk, though, man. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, what I went through in the past don't make my future. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So, Moshi, okay, brother Ben, okay. Social media also is a breeding ground for toxic people. Yep.
That's just what it is. It's
Uh-huh.
become a toxic playground.
It has.
They have taken all the fun. It was once upon a time a fun place where you could come and congregate and fellowship. And I remember when panels used to have 5, 6, 7 people. You know, everybody was bringing knowledge to the table. But what tends to happen in these groups, somebody gets big, egos start clashing, arrogance, people who still feel entitlement, like I put you on, you still owe me, you know, and you have to realize that it does happen. Sometimes you can start off a movement together, and one person who wasn't even part of that movement could come in and outshine.
Exactly.
Some people just have that magnetic charisma. I mean, that's what happened with Malcolm X. You know, he came into the movement, and even though he was brought in under the wing of what was his name? Was it Allah Muhammad?
Yeah.
Elijah
Muhammad.
Muhammad. And even though it was his movement that he started, but Malcolm X had that magnetic gift that just drew people to him. And I will say that sometimes, to play devil's advocate, you can't hate on people who just got that shine. That has that natural charisma, whether if it's manipulative, whatever tactics they use. You know, eventually, if it's fraudulent, God is going to bring it to the forefront. You don't have to be hating. You ain't got to be jealous. Let them stunt. Let them use this time to shine, because at some point they're going to be called out on it. You know what I mean? But a lot of these people who are in their feelings, what it is, you're not in your feelings because that person has left your camp. You're in your feelings because you thought you was gonna always be the head honcho, and that's what makes it. That's what a lot of people have to understand in this game. At any given moment, your spot can always be taken. It don't matter if you've been doing this for 30, 40, 50 years. I mean, you could have been on your job. You can be a construction worker, security guard, or a hairstylist, whatever, and been good at doing what you do for every bit of 15, 20 years. Another person come up in there and do the shit for 5 months. And they work is outshining yours. I've seen it happen. You have to be prepared that is going to always be somebody that's going to be better than you. It's going to always be somebody that can bring more to the table. So somebody can always snatch your crown at any given moment. So be humble. Be humble with your success. And don't forget where you came from. Those who supported you, make sure you show them love. You support them. You put them out there. You know, when you do reach that plateau, especially if they put you on and you was a nobody. But what amazes me is that people who get successful, they don't want to put their day ones on from day A1 from day ones on. They want to put the newcomers on who just started, like acknowledging them. Like, I see that all the time. I've seen certain individual, he would not acknowledge none of the dudes that was with him when he was the unpopular kid in the classroom. But now, because he's at this plateau, he's only giving shout outs to the young dudes who didn't even know who the hell he was way back when he was in the classroom with the jocks and he was the nerdy dude.
Right. Man. That's all I was thinking about the scripture. What does it say? What is it a man profit the world? You know what I'm saying? And but lose his soul. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what a lot of people is doing right now. Like it's like what are you trying to prove? You know what I'm saying? To getting all this so-called fame and stuff. And I'm not hating, but I mean, just for the wrong reasons though. Just because you was hurt bad in your past, and now you want to get famous and stuff like that. I mean, it's like, yo, come on now. You know what I'm saying? I choose to be humble over anything because material things can never like just never make me always like happy like that. You know what I'm saying? Because all this stuff, all these things are going to rot and stuff. But yeah, we got to get back. We got to get back to foundation. That's what it's all about. Foundation is everything. Without a foundation, you can't build. You know what I'm saying? We all have our role. We all have our place in life. That what we have to do as men and women. So both sides, you know, we got to play our part on.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
we do, and you know, last but not least, you know, if you are a content creator, don't let these YouTube streets consume you. Sometimes it's easy to want to fall in line and join the crowd, because you're feeling like your success is not being noticed. You feel like your craft, your skills, your abilities, is all going in vain. Still stay true to who you are. It's better. I'd rather quantity over quality. I mean, quality over quantity any day.
amen
I'd
to that.
rather have 3-4 solid people than have 300 unsolid people. Because when you become so concerned with numbers, that's where you get burned at. Because you're so concerned with the numbers, you overlook who's in your camp.
Right.
You start allowing all kind of people in because you just want the numbers to grow. But you know, you gotta like again, Jesus, he had disciples that was walking with him and they didn't want no parts to it. When it brought down to it, Peter betrayed him.
Judas.
And this was one, and Judas. These were in the disciples who followed him, who acted like they was going to be all the way to the end. You know, and when it brought down to it, they wasn't there. So you just stay genuine in your content. It may not be progressing and getting anywhere, but it's better to have gradual success than instant success.
Right.
When you gradually work your way up and you're doing it authentically, not because you collaborating with only the popular people, but you're collaborating with solid people.
Right.
Your success is going to manifest.
That's
and
true.
It's going to manifest genuinely. It's going to be slower, but it's better to be slower and gradual because it's genuine. And it's going to pay off in the long run. So, you know, don't get deceived by these numbers. I get it. It's been times, you know, I felt like, you know, my content wasn't getting where it needed to be, but it's okay. It's okay to struggle because that's what's going to keep you humble. Those who are not struggling, who done got baptized and hypnotized by the numbers, the lights, the likes, the fame, the recognition, those are the ones that's going to slip somewhere. Because when you become so consumed with your numbers, you lose focus on the snakes in the grass.
Right.
But see, when you're small and your platform's smaller, when you got a small yard, you'll notice the snakes in the grass if you got a small yard.
Right.
But if you got a big yard, and go from a big yard to a stadium, you ain't gonna see all them damn snakes in the stadium. I'm telling you.
But I always say, I'd rather have 4 quarters than 100 pennies though in my circle.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
All day long, because guess what? The ones talking about, oh man, you know what I'm saying, I ain't got my numbers up there, whatever though. But guess what? Like we said from like Mocha and I said from the beginning, you know what I'm saying? The bigger you grow, the more problems you're gonna have though. You get a lot of problems that come with that too. All right, you got this. So guess what? You're finna get more problems with it though. New levels, new devils.
New levels, new devils. That's right. That's right. Yeah. I'd rather eat bums with crumbs than steaks with snakes.
Oh man. I always do what you said. It's always like that though, because like I said, because there are some fire small like content creators. Well, I always say think big. It's always good to think big, but there are some really great, you know, fire small content creators like they ain't got attention to, like I said, yours, few other brothers and sisters and stuff. I'm like, man. And we wonder like man, that stuff ain't growing like the way we want to. But I just love the message though that you all put out, and it just nourishes my soul. You know, and it's like this is something that I need to hear because it's like a testimony, and it's like, man, I need to share this with somebody though. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm like, man, go check out this particular content creator. Like,
yeah, and I will admit that, Cool Jen, you're one. I've seen you share my stuff a couple of times, you know, and I've done the same, you know, whenever I would notice you know, had uploaded something. But you know, definitely to everybody in the chat, make sure y'all put the struggle platforms, the struggle solid platforms. Make sure y'all, you know, put our message out there, share, make sure y'all subscribe, you know what I mean? You know, because again, progress comes from support. If y'all can support the fuckery and y'all can support, you know, the foolishness, you know, it's nothing wrong. Subscribe to the solid ones too. I'm not saying y'all mean subscribe to your fuckery cult leaders, but also subscribe to the struggle platforms. You know what I'm saying? You know, because you know, it's kind of like I remember how I would go in town and you will see these hole in the wall restaurants. You know, the building was raggedy. I mean, I'll never forget
the little hole on the wall restaurants be the best ones.
The best. Let me tell you something.
Best.
I was in Hardyville and I used to pass this little hole in the wall restaurant. I mean, half of the letters wasn't even on the damn sign.
Right.
You know, it wasn't even barbecue. It was just Q.
Yep.
That's how raggedy, you know what I'm saying? The letters have faded. You know what I mean? And I'm like, yeah, I don't know. I'm going to stop by. Boy, when I tell you, cool, that food was so good, it would put a broken marriage back together. I got that from my husband, right? Because me and my husband, we stopped there, right? And when I say, you know, you can tell when a black person ate good, because when you don't ate good, you know, you start to lean back in your chair a little bit.
Yeah.
And that's when I told my husband, I was like, did you enjoy the food? He said, oh man, that food was so good it put a broken marriage back together. Every time I tell people that, they just falls out. You know what I'm saying? When I tell him, he says that. When I say the fried chicken, the macaroni, I mean, Bubba was a greasy looking chef. Greasy. And believe it or not, these was white folks. And you know, that's a scary thing because they don't always know how to season their food. But when I say they represented, that barbecue, them ribs was off the bone. That fried chicken, that coleslaw. Oh my God!
Came in with the heat.
Let me tell you something. I felt an anointing. I felt the spirit when I sat down and ate that food. It's called Duke's Barbecue. Oh, boy, man. I tell you, it was something good, and that's why I tell you, you know, you go in a restaurant, it wasn't all that. It didn't have the fancy tables, it didn't have the fancy lights, it didn't have the extravagant waiters. You know, you had the only waiter that was there was the cook, and she was one of the cooks with her husband, and she looked like she was every bit of 70 years old. But I tell you, they had the best banana pudding.
Oh, don't get me started on banana pudding, Mocha. Don't get me started on that. That's my all-time favorite dessert.
You don't want it.
Hey, I was thinking about a place, like I said, it was like a little, it can be like a little beat down place, though, you know what I'm saying? Nothing but like a broken down sink or something like that. I'm like, what kind of place is this? But when you taste that food, cheeseburgers, wings and stuff, oh my God. Jeez. I'm like, where's this place been on my whole life? Better than all these top tier restaurants ever.
You kept passing it because it looked like a little raggedy shack building. But that's what the food was. And I've gone to some restaurants where the atmosphere is very extravagant. Like they have a place here called Bonefish Grill.
Okay. Bonefish Grill. Okay.
And that's all it is. Okay. You said the right word. Okay. It ain't even take the K. I just said, it's just, I can't even give it the K. Anytime I got to go somewhere to eat and I got to flip the menu 3 times. And I still don't see nothing I want.
You don't want it.
It's a problem.
Yep.
I should at least be able to flip the menu twice and be like, okay, I'm gonna order this or that, order that. I flipped that menu 3 times. I still ain't saw nothing I wanted.
Right.
They only had one thing that was good there, and it was not all of that. I mean, the plates was beautiful, the tablecloths was beautiful. and it just was nothing. You know what
That
I'm
fool wasn't
saying?
hitting on nothing though.
It
You
wasn't
gotta hear
hitting
that
on
fool.
nothing. So that's the same way. I say all that to say this is that's the same way you got to look at these content creators.
Yep.
Just because they got the graphics and the
Yeah.
oh, let me tell you what's starting to piss me off. This has nothing to do with the subject, but a lot of these content creators, I can't stand that damn clapping effects they use. That shit irks me. When they hit the you know how they have the clapping effects every time they say something, and they have the little audience, they press the button. That irks my
Yeah.
nerves. I don't like them sound effects. But especially when you overdo it, every time you say something, you got to make your audience like laugh or clap. And I'm like, oh my gosh, it just sounds. And if you notice it, a lot of shows like Tyler Perry and stuff, they don't have a live audience anymore. They use that clap effect now, where somebody's pressing a button and making the audience clap. It's like a sound effect. That's real annoying. A lot of content creators are doing that. That's just, I'm like, please find a real audience or stop using that, and or don't use it all the time. Once in a while, but not all the time. But yeah, I don't like Bonefish Grill. It's terrible. It's very, very. I don't care for Bonefish. They boom boom shrimp. That's good, but I can't do it.
I'm back. Yeah, I heard what you saying though.
Laugh track. That's what it is. Laugh track. I hate it. And so many content creators are using it. Laugh tracks.
Yeah, I guess, in my personal opinion, that some people want to, use it for like their particular purposes and stuff, but I guess it depends on who uses pretty well. So I mean that's my opinion though, but I hear what you're saying, Mocha. But yeah.
They just go overboard with it. That's just one of my pet peeves, I mean, but that's just one of them things I kind of get on my nerves. I'm like, those laugh tracks. And it's not just with the platforms. Like when I watch the Tyler Perry shows, you can tell a lot of them use laugh tracks now. They don't use the live studio audience. I don't know because of COVID or what, but it just sounds so unauthentic. And it's like, it was one thing when I didn't notice it, but once you know something, it's like you peep it all the time. It's like, damn, it's them damn laughing tracks, it just gets on my nerves. But yeah, but Bonefish Grill is a hot ass mess. But yeah, like I said, same thing, go to content that may not have all the fancy graphics and the laughing tracks and this up to par, state-of-the-art sounds and stuff. So, support your struggle platforms coming to a theater near you. Support the struggle platforms. We need love too. Love your cult leader pastors and your cult leader dating experts, but show love, drop a tithe off here and there to a struggling platform, you know what I mean? So yeah, just look out for the small people. That's all.
Yeah. I mean, I say this, everybody who does content is unique in their own way. I mean, there's some that have like top tier quality, and there's some that's like in between, then some that's just like the basic, but it's all about how you want to put it together. I mean, what you're doing was best for your show, because I'm gonna probably crank on my other channel too, but it's gonna be for like reaction videos, stuff like that. Because I know the black sector is it's a lot of fuckery over here. I know in the black sector. So I like to go out to other different things, the music or the games. It's just something like that, just to name it. But yeah. So
yeah, you got to branch out and open your mind to other things. Yeah.
Right. So this is a great show, man. I appreciate y'all coming up here, and appreciate my audience that support me from day one, and the new people that's coming in. I truly appreciate you all. Is there any last words you want to say, Mocha?
Oh yeah, definitely. The next time I do a show, I will also bring you on a live, or one of my lives as well, because you have invited me over like 2 or 3 times, and I haven't brought you over to mine in a while. So definitely, I'm definitely going to be hitting you up soon, because again, we got to show each other support. And you have a lot of content creators, they'll go on your platform all day, but you damn near, you better not come to theirs. They're not going to bring you. They want the show all to themselves. They want to be a one-man band. So, I'm definitely going to be hitting you up, especially now that I got a little time off. So, so you can, also, I want to be able to also, give you that privilege as well, and extend that and invite you to my house as well, since you have invited me to yours a couple of times. Definitely to the chat. Appreciate y'all for hanging out with me and Cool Gent. A lot of y'all have also, we've learned a lot from y'all as well. As we was doing this platform, y'all was dropping jewels too. Believe it or not, content creators, we also learn from our subscribers, especially because we ain't got a bunch of traffic in here. So we're able to take the time to look at what you have to say and reiterate on it and give some feedback. That's the advantage of being a small content creator. You can actually interact with your audience. But other than that, big ups to Cool Gent again. Thank you for always bringing me on, treating me like a guest, and making me feel important, allowing me to also express myself, even if we don't agree on the same subjects. I appreciate you allowing me to express and have my own perspectives while at the same time you sharing yours. So definitely I wish nothing but the best for your platform. You definitely deserve to have way more views than what you have, and I'm sure in due time you'll get to where you need to be. So definitely to everybody in the chat, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to Mocha's Cafe de Paris. Also, ladies, I have a channel called Mocha's Ladies Lounge, where I do channels specifically for women. I am going to be getting with I have to get up with Cool Gent soon anyway, because I'm supposed to be doing a melanated male therapy session. I hadn't gotten around to that because I had personal things going on. But that's definitely one of my things that I plan on working on. But other than that, everything was great, Cool Gent, and I look forward to working with you some more.
Yeah, absolutely. And one more thing, I have shout out to JT that also came on. I know he had to take care of some business though, but
right, I forgot about him. Yeah,
but yeah, I know when Mocha came over here on my channel, she's like, all these guys up here talking like they not arguing anything.
Yeah, ain't nobody throwing no chairs. Y'all ain't letting women just run the platforms and get out of pocket and say things out their mouth, and y'all ain't cussing nobody, and you ain't timing people out because they have a difference in opinion. You ain't snatching wrenches, and it's just a mess.
Yeah. We laid on our child support, so we gotta come over there and support you though.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Yeah. It's all love. Like I said, the small content creators, we just got to support each other because they're not going to do it. So, like I said, less is best. You know what I mean? So all is good, all is well. So yeah, definitely keep in touch, Cool Gent. It's been awesome, y'all. Big ups to the chat. Thank y'all for hanging out with us this evening, and y'all have a blessed one.
All right, Mocha. You have a good one. Thank you.
All right, for sure.
All right, everybody, that's it, man. Shout out to you all that's come in. I don't never put up my cash out, but when I do, I just decide to put it up. I'm not gonna be like everybody else that do their content and stuff like with the cash app thing. But if you would like to donate to the content, it's listed in the link below. So it's not a requirement, but just try to put it out there, just because I wanted to. So, but yeah, but I just you being here, it's already pretty much appreciated very much. And this was a great live stream. I'm your host, Cool Gent 87. This week later, I'm gonna do another show. It's going to be entitled, I think I already got it titled. It's going to be entitled Brothers and Sisters That Are in the Truth versus the Dating Coaches. So be on the lookout for that. So you all have a good night. I'm going to check out some live streams, see who's up. And y'all have a blessed one, man. Peace to every last one of y'all. Good night.